Singapore, angry at being scratched on the face by her employer's teenage son, a domestic worker poured hot oil from a frying pan onto the boy. It all started when Indonesian Sugianti, 34, who goes by one name, scolded the 14-year-old boy for spilling liquids on the floor, which she claimed had caused his 17-year-old sister to slip and fall 2 days earlier. Annoyed, the boy toppled a shelf containing Sugianti's personal effects over in the bedroom they shared in a Bukit Panjang flat on February 15, 2017. The two had a shouting match. Afraid that the maid would complain to his father about his behavior, the victim replaced her personal effects in the bedroom. Deputy Public Prosecutor Chong Ki-en said that Sugianti was frying chicken wings in the kitchen later that day when she continued to scold the victim. The boy reacted by covering her mouth from behind and pulling her hair to stop her from scolding him further. Shocked, Sugianti shook the frying pan a few times at him, and called him a devil's son. He scratched at her face and left. When Sugianti saw the scratch mark, she picked up the frying pan half filled with heated oil, and challenged him to a fight. The victim, then in the toilet, shouted at her to go away. Still fuming, Sugianti lifted the frying pan and poured the hot oil onto the victim. The hot oil landed on his arm and leg. He cried and was shocked. His sister helped wash and apply aloe vera gel on the scald wounds. The boy was taken to a polyclinic the next day when his injuries did not improve. A police report was made. The victim, who has since recovered, was treated for burns on his lower limb and right forearm. A day later, on February 17, Sugianti was treated at Changi General Hospital on February 17 for soreness on the back of her head and a claw mark under her right eye. She was sentenced to 1 year's jail by District Judge Hamida Ibrahim for causing hurt to the victim by heated substance. The judge agreed there were aggravating factors in the case. She told Sugianti if she had any issues with the victim, she should take it up with his father. She said a deterrent sentence was required, noting a certain amount of malice and intention on the maid's part. Pleading for leniency, Sugianti's lawyer Nasser Ismail said his client, a divorcee with a 10-year-old daughter, had been working for the household since last October, taking care of the victim and his 2 sisters as well as their ailing grandmother. He said Sugianti suffered a lot of verbal abuse from the victim, who has a violent temperament and is much bigger in size than his client. He said Sugianti noticed a marked change in the victim's behavior several months into her job. The boy was becoming rebellious and ill-tempered, and had scuffled with his mother, an Indonesian, who is estranged with the victim's father and lives in Batam. Sugianti, whose sentence was backdated to October 5, could have been jailed for up to 7 years and/or fined for the offense.